Jackie Christie is known for being the rather, cuckoo star of Basketball Wives. Since 2011, viewers have gotten a front row seat to watch her stir the pot. But would you believe us if we said Jackie has a history of being even nuttier behind the scenes? Jackie and her husband, former NBA player Doug Christie, were known around basketball circles for their rock-solid relationship. Doug is entirely devoted to Jackie and their family, but it's so extreme that some people are waiting for Doug to blink twice if he needs help. Today, we'll be taking a deep dive into this hot, stankin' mess. But before we jump into it, don't forget to head on over to rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of teriyaki beef jerky, cookies and cream popcorn, and watermelon licorice. According to a book written by her daughter Takari, Jackie was a gold digger who ran the streets of Seattle. She had a sassy attitude, a slick mouth, and would pop off on anyone at any time. Allegedly. According to Takari, Jackie briefly moved out to California to pursue a career as a model and entertainer, only to return to her hometown of Seattle without the stardom she was seeking. Jackie met an alleged drug lord named Tyrone Lee. He and Tyrone got married in December 1988, and Takari was born in August 1989. Takari claims they had a great life since the Lee family was allegedly at the top of a very profitable substance empire. Takari stated that her dad's side of the family allegedly brought Jackie's family into the substance business. And while growing up, Takari said she never remembered anyone in her life having a legit 9-to-5 job. By the time Takari was born, her parents were already separated. Her dad wanted to entertain other women, and Jackie wasn't having it. Their divorce was finalized in November 1989. In her memoir, Takari wrote that she was primarily raised by her grandmother because Jackie was allegedly too busy hustling and dealing with men. Takari added, "I like to think I did not live with my parents in my early years because of their lifestyle, but truth be told, it was because they were just selfish as hell." The feds eventually came for her dad, and in her book, Takari alludes to Jackie ratting him out. He served 3 years behind bars, and their substance empire allegedly came crashing down. In 1992, Doug was in his hometown of Seattle when a mutual friend introduced him to Jackie at a sports bar. At the time, Doug was still a student at Pepperdine University. Now, there are two versions of this story. According to Takari, Doug was interested in Jackie, but Jackie allegedly told him he needed to get his money up first. But according to Doug, he asked for Jackie's number, and she gave it to him, but he didn't call her. A few weeks later, they ran into each other at a party, and Doug asked her to dance. He told the Seattle Times, "The music has never stopped." After getting picked up by the Seattle Supersonics in the 1992 NBA draft, Doug was immediately traded to the Lakers. 3 months later, Jackie was pregnant. According to Takari, Doug and Jackie weren't even in an official relationship at the time, and Jackie was allegedly dealing with other men. Doug's mom reportedly questioned the paternity of the unborn child so much it created a wedge. Jackie gave birth to their daughter Chantel and raised her in Seattle while Doug played ball in LA. Once a paternity test proved Doug was the baby's daddy, he reportedly moved Jackie and their newborn to LA. Takari stayed behind with her grandmother for a bit in Seattle until Doug and Jackie sent for Takari and her grandmother to move to LA. During a Season 2 episode of Basketball Wives, Chantel alleged that Jackie was emotionally and mentally abusive to Takari and would tease her about her weight.
For years, my sister and I, we didn't speak to each other. No relationship whatsoever, because she always played us against each other. She's fat and she's black and you're skinny and you need to stay in shape and you're the model.
Takari also confirmed these allegations. One day, while sitting in the driveway of their home, Doug said he received several messages from God. His purpose in life became clear, and he decided right then and there that he wanted to marry Jackie. He proposed in 1996, and they got married 3 days later. Jackie told the HuffPost there were a lot of mishaps on their wedding day. They lost the ring, Doug's tuxedo ripped because it was too tight, and as they walked down the winding staircase to meet the minister, she kept telling Doug, "If you want to, you can change your mind about this. We can still have a party. You don't have to marry me." But Doug went through with it, and they've renewed their vows every year since then. They also welcomed a son named Dougie Jr. Doug bounced around to several teams in the NBA, and attendees started noticing that Doug would make hand signals toward the rafters. Initially, people thought he was calling out plays to his teammates, but it was later revealed that he was using his hand signals to communicate with Jackie. According to the New York Times, he often made the same hand signals up to 50 times per game. He told the newspaper, "That's just to let my wife know I love her, and she and family are bigger than basketball." Jackie would return the gesture by making hand signals of her own. She told the Times she had a signal to let Doug know he needed to smile while he was on the bench, and another signal would tell him he needed to drive the ball to the hole. She told the Washington Post she loved being Doug's support system. That meant having his back when he was on the court and giving him foot rubs and sexy strip teases off the court. Jackie traveled to the team's away games and sat right next to Doug on the team's airplane. When they traveled by bus, she would ride behind them in her car and reportedly spoke to Doug on his cell phone the entire time until the team arrived at their destination. Takari confirmed in her book that Jackie would follow Doug all around the U.S. to keep an eye on him so he wouldn't cheat. Jackie would allegedly ask her mom to watch the children she shared with Doug as well, so that she could catch flights and stay by Doug's side. During an interview with the Howard Stern show, Jackie stated the real reason she traveled with Doug was so they could keep up with their tradition of getting it in 6 times a week. Doug chimed in by pulling out a whip during the interview. And he confirmed they like experimenting in the bedroom, which included the exploration of Jackie's Hershey Highway. While some wives were focused on all the perks that came with their husbands' multi-million-dollar paychecks, Jackie said she was more focused on keeping Doug away from temptation. That was easy for Doug to do because Jackie stuck to his behind like glue. She arrived at games with him and left with him afterward. When the locker room was closed to outsiders, she would have an attendant pass Doug little notes so he would know she was close by, and Doug would write a reply and send a note back. In an interview, Doug admitted that during his basketball career, he didn't look at other women. He avoided all dialogue and didn't even make eye contact. He added that since they'd been married, Jackie was aware of every single conversation he ever had with a member of the opposite sex. By this point, you're probably wondering if Doug was a willing participant in all this madness. According to him, he loved all of their little rituals. He said, "I choose this. There is nothing out there for me to want or try to go after. That's not what I'm trying to be about." When Doug played for the Toronto Raptors, Jackie was apparently off the chain with her antics. She told the Times, "I just felt I needed to protect my territory in the beginning, so I had a lot of issues." So what was she doing exactly? Well, she reportedly confronted a female fan who wanted an autograph and a kiss from Doug. Jackie, who described the fan as being young and pretty, told the Times, "A security guard grabbed her, but I put my hand up and told her to back off really loud. It scared me because my voice sounded like a demon." Child, somebody should have called an exorcist. And then Jackie noticed that the women working for the organization went into the locker room to distribute statistics after the games, and that was a big no-no to Jackie because Doug was in there changing out of his sweaty uniform. So she made Doug separate himself from the team, and he started changing in an adjacent room. When the Raptors traded him to the Sacramento Kings at the end of the 2000 season, an anonymous Eastern Conference team official told the New York Times that they had warned the Kings about obtaining Doug because some of the issues Jackie had caused in Toronto. Well, the Kings decided to give Doug a chance either way. During an October 2002 preseason matchup against the Lakers, Doug got into a little on-court scuffle with Rick Fox. As the players migrated off the court and into the tunnel, Rick and Doug went at it again. And then, like a bat out of hell, Jackie ran into the mix with her purse cocked and ready to give Rick the business. It was at that moment that the press realized Jackie wasn't a typical basketball wife that cheered her man on from the stands and kept a low profile. Jackie was always ready and willing to throw them bows and protect her king. That same year, a media relations manager for the organization said she was let go after she left a work-related message on the Christie's home phone. The woman later filed a lawsuit against the team, Doug, and Jackie. According to the Christie's publicist, the case was dismissed, but we're unable to confirm this information. In response to the negative attention she was receiving in the press, Jackie took to her personal website to share her list called The Haters Club. The list included all members of the media that tried to tear her and Doug down over the years. She told Player Wives' website, "No matter what we said or how good he played or how I never caused any problems, they found it fun to take jabs at us." In 2005, Doug joined the Orlando Magic and the shenanigans continued. The Orlando Sentinel reported that in his debut game, he verbally communicated with Jackie the entire time, even though she was sitting 8 rows up and the stadium was loud as hell. They also detailed all of his hand gestures and noted he made 50 hand signals to Jackie during the game. Jackie told the newspaper, "You know what it is. He loves me, and I love him. Is that weird?" Doug only spent 1 season in Orlando before he was released by the team. He signed a 1-year contract with the Dallas Mavericks, but things didn't work out in the Triple D either. He underwent surgery and was later waived by the team. His goal was to get re-signed by his old team, the Toronto Raptors, since he and Jackie loved the city so much. When that didn't happen, Doug spent his free time filming a cringy movie with Jackie called The Christies Uncut. The DVD is described as a hilarious comedy loosely based on their life experiences. A brave soul for the LA Times took one for the team and watched the movie and described one scene that featured a furry bunny on a bed, Doug in his underpants with a dog collar around his neck, and Jackie, who was dressed like a maid and was pulling the leash and whipping Doug as he yelled, "Again, again, again." For those of y'all that are into that sort of thing, we've linked the DVD for you in the description box. Doug and Jackie also starred in a reality show called Committed: The Christies, which only lasted for 6 episodes. After a 2-year break, Doug signed a 10-day contract with the Los Angeles Clippers in 2007. As soon as it was reported that he was headed to La La Land, the LA Times unleashed a report, and it was all about Wacky Jackie. A journalist for the newspaper observed that Jackie purchased seats opposite the Clippers bench so she could keep an eye on her husband and communicate with him. The journalist noted that Doug put his left arm in the air and made a hook'em horn-like signal to tell Jackie he loved her. But get this, he did the signal 13 times in the first 6 minutes of the game, and all while he was sitting on the bench. He later told the newspaper, "I love my wife, and when basketball is over, I will have a wife that I love, and I will go off into the sunset with her and my children." Well, after signing a second 10-day contract, Doug parted ways with the team, and he was free to spend every second of his day with Jackie. The quirks of their relationship flew under the radar up until Jackie joined Basketball Wives in 2011. A new generation of fans quickly learned that Jackie is still going to great lengths to keep Doug on a tight leash.
Seeing my man laugh with another female like this, I'm crushed.
In a 2016 episode of the VH1 reality series, she revealed that she routinely checks Doug's meat clackers to see if he's been cheating. When TMZ asked her to explain, Jackie stated, "If it's emptier and they're little and they shrivel up, then they've been emptied somewhere." From the outside looking in, this relationship is all sorts of strange, but it obviously works for them since the Christies are gearing up for their 27th wedding anniversary. Doug currently works as an assistant coach for the Sacramento Kings, and of course, Jackie is on the sidelines and cheering her man on and throwing up hand signs at him every step of the way. If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below, and thanks for watching RRG.